So yesterday I was talking to my guy Dante Hall. Got to throw up the X with my mans. Be sure to be on the lookout for that interview from Fanfield. But anyways, I was talking to Dante and he was talking to me about Jalen Hurts, and something he asked me that I want to answer to you guys as well was, how far do the Eagles have to go? So let's get into it.
You want Philly food?
Yeah, let's do it.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast. So today we are going to talk about my thoughts on how far the Philadelphia Eagles have to go for this year to be a success, right? I'm not talking about, to surprise me or anything, but to really deem this year and this offseason, this draft that we're so happy about, to deem it a success. How far do I think the Eagles need to go? We're going to talk about that, all right? Before we get into that, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family. We are on the road to 4K. We would love for you guys to join the ride. Let's get into it. So, how far do the Eagles have to go? Look, I love the culture that this Eagles team is building, right? I love the family atmosphere that we are building. There was a wise woman that said once, "We are family. I got all my sisters and me," and I really feel like we've taken on that mindset, and that was a famous song. So we're going to be a famous team. But all jokes aside, I love the culture that we're building. I love the mentality of these guys. I've said on Twitter, shameless plug, go follow me at PhillyTP. I've said on Twitter that the fact that these guys, we have such good players with such big chips on their shoulders, so much that they feel like they have to prove, the league should be scared of that alone. I know for me, I'm excited for it, right? It's my team. I'm excited to see how far they're willing to go to take this team as far as they can go. But on the opposite side, as far as the league goes, you should be a little bit worried about that. Now, what does that mean for this team? Does that mean that I'm looking at them and I'm taking my fan hat off? I'm taking my, Eagles fan hat off, and I'm just looking at it from an outsider's perspective. If I'm looking at how much this team has put together in this offseason, you have to at least get one win in the playoffs. And honestly, I'm assuming that you're going to get a bye in the playoffs. In my opinion, you have to be a top 5 team on the NFC side. I truly do believe that. A week or two ago, I probably wouldn't have said that. I think that we were building something special. I think one win would have been beautiful, but I really do believe that you have to be one of those, even top 4 teams. I'm looking for a team that is going to go out there, have home field advantage for at least one game. This NFC is not what it used to be, right? It's not what we're used to with the spread out talent. Everybody has a quarterback. Right now, it's all on the AFC side. Everybody went to the AFC. They're all playing ball over there. So the NFC is wide open. You obviously have your Aaron Rodgers. You obviously have Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams. You have a couple other teams that, are good, right? You have the Cardinals. I can go on. There are teams that are good, but there's no team that you're sitting there saying there's no way we can beat them. And even if there is a team, it's probably the Rams, and guess what? We don't play them. So we wouldn't have to worry about that till the playoffs. We wouldn't play them in the first round, most likely, unless we're, so there's no way that we're going against a team, in my opinion, that really just jumps off the board and scares me. So I really do believe we have to be a top 5 team. Now, even going deeper, I think saying being a top 5 team is beautiful. That sounds good. But what do I really need to see success, right? Maturation. We've talked about this a lot. We've talked about the maturation of Jalen Hurts. We've talked about the maturation of this wide receiving core, of the young running backs, of the young offensive line, the coaching staff. We need to see a step from last year to this year. That is the most important thing right now. If we do not see that, then I'm going to be worried. If I said this last year, and I think that it applies this year as well, maybe a little bit of a different tonality with it, right? Maybe it's not the exact same thing, but I think it does kind of fit as well. Last year I said the worst thing we could be was the same. The worst thing we could do was kind of go out there and not really learn anything about this team. I'm saying the same really applies to this. It applies to this season. If we go out there flat-footed and we don't try different things, we don't utilize players in the correct way, we're going to be the same old team. It is what it is. I'm excited about what I saw last year, and again, I've said that I really like what Nick Sirianni has brought to this team. I think that Nick Sirianni has done a great job as far as developing some of this talent along with his staff. I need to see that continue, right? And then on the defensive side, show me something, Jonathan Gannon. I'm probably the biggest Jonathan Gannon hater at this point, and it's not even hate, because I don't like Tracy Rocker either. it comes down to, and you guys might watch this. I don't dislike you. I don't hate you. What it is that you were in the position that fell the furthest, right? So for me, process of elimination. That's really what it comes down to. If you have guys calling you out saying that you're not utilizing them correctly, a la Fletcher Cox, right? Fletcher Cox came out and said that, and you have guys that are not getting the numbers that we're used to them seeing, there is a little bit of a veteran drop off, right? Maybe you getting older, the numbers drop a little bit, but there is an aspect of this coaching staff. You need to show me you know how to utilize these guys. So while we've added a lot of talent to these positions, right, especially the outside rushing position and our defensive ends, our defensive tackle position, it still has to be utilized. It still has to be, used. You still have to go out there and put these guys in the position to win. So I want to see that. I've said this before, and I've said a lot of this before because we talk a lot, y'all. We talk a lot. I need to see development throughout this season. I need to see the games within the games, right? Like I want to win games, don't get me wrong, but I also want to learn. I want to see that, all right, we won that game. We probably could have won by more if we do this. Now let's implement this next game and get better. Last year, while I understand it's a week by week thing, right? You can't do the same thing with the Rams that you do with the Lions. You can't do the same thing with the Lions that you do with the Falcons, et cetera, right? But at the same point, if you understand something isn't working, if something has not been working, if something has actually been going totally wrong for you, right? We've seen that happen a lot of times and it doesn't get fixed. If you are realizing your secondary is getting torched like they were last year, send some dogs, right? And I know it's not that easy to just pull and play and do it, but that's why you get paid the big bucks, right? That's why you get paid the big bucks, to figure out those tough problems that we bring up in YouTube videos. I guess that's what it is. But at the end of the day, I think that fans on it, we want to win, right? And I think that that's clear. We want to win. I don't think that that's something that we are making up in our head that we have a shot. I think that it's very possible that this is a Super Bowl contending team. I have said that, I meant that, and I mean that still. This can realistically be a team that goes pretty far in the playoffs. It depends on certain individuals, right? Jalen and the coaching staff. But at the same time, I'm still more locked in on the games inside the games. So that's where, to answer the question, to kind of round back and put a bow on all this, that's kind of where I measure success this year, is the games inside the games. I want to see one throw to the next is Jalen Hurts improving upon what he needs to improve upon. I need to see from one defensive series to the next is our coaching staff putting this team in the correct positions. That's what I need to see. So how am I going to measure success? Dante, and Philly family. How am I going to measure it? It's going to be the game inside the game. It's going to be the little things that are going to turn into big measurables, right? When you take care of the little things, then you get the big things like Super Bowls. You get the big things like playoff wins, the big things like MVPs possibly, right? So that's what I'm worried about. I want to see every drive, every play, everything, every game, any type of way you want to measure it. I want to see it get better as we go, and that's really how I measure success. I think that this team is built for success for a long time. We have a lot of these guys under contract for a long time. So if this isn't the year we win a Super Bowl, I'm not going to cry, at least not on camera. But I will be looking at those other things to see if we were successful. So you guys let me know what you're thinking. How do you measure success for the Philadelphia Eagles this year? And am I bugging? Was mine good? I need sometimes you guys got to just say nice things in the comments. Sometimes y'all don't do that. I know y'all like the music and everything, but can y'all just say I have good, thoughts sometimes? Damn. But anyways, I love y'all. If you made it this far, you are a king, you are a queen, you are the best thing on this earth since sliced bread. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, y'all know what it is. It's Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here. Peace!
Eagles flag everywhere. This is for you.
Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown.